All right, so we are starting on small details and windows and stuff now. Once you have all your buildings done and you erased any lines not needed, and you've double checked that all of these have their little lines to make sure the buildings aren't just randomly floating. I'm sorry, I'm trying to talk and I'm going to try to limit the no stuff, just allergies. So, first thing, I'm going to start with this building. So, I'm going to try to do it up close so you can see it. So, just like with anything else, you're always going to line up, just like with the buildings, you always line up with the edge of the paper, or it leads back to the finishing point one way or another. Okay? Let me see if I can do this so you can see better. All right. So I'm actually going to start on my roof first. And I still don't want to draw super hard because I still am in the end of my erase a little bit when I draw my tightrope rocker. So I'm going to come in. Most buildings have like a little lip or something. I'm going to come in and I'm going to start drawing that. I'm going to get a little closer so you can see. I'm going to turn my paper. The reason I'm doing this is so I can exactly see how much room, because I want the room here and here to be about the same. I'm going to come here. I'm going to say about there, line up with that in the edge of the paper. Please remember to always move your hand up so that it's covering most of your ruler. Don't just hold it at one end because it will move. And I'm turning my paper to work for me. Always. I want this to be about the same width as all the others. So if one of my lines didn't quite go there, I just bring my ruler in, line up with it. And finish it out. And then come over here, do this one. So that would be the beginning, because like I said, most buildings have like a little lip on the top. So I just made a smaller, slightly smaller rectangle instead of that one. Then you could start imagining what would possibly be on top of this building, if anything. I'm going to actually come in and draw a little AC unit looking thing here. So I'm going to draw, still lining up with the top or edge of my paper. I'm going to actually bring that back a little bit. There we go. So there's that. So I have that. Next thing I'm going to do is I just don't want to leave it like that because that's not how our buildings work. You're going to take from this corner, line up with the vanishing point, draw there, line up with the vanishing point, draw there, line up with the vanishing point, draw. So now what you're going to do is you're going to come in, I'm going to say I want it to be this long, line up with the edge of the paper, connect those two, and now where this line ends, I'm going to connect with the edge of the paper here, and draw a line, and then get rid of what I don't need. I could leave it like that. I could go in and make it look more like an AC unit if I wanted to, which would be like coming in, and you can look up an image of an AC unit. Just note any and all like lines like this are going to lead to that vanishing point. And then I would just come in. I drew too far. And it'd be up to you how you wanted to design that. But you still have to do your measuring and your lining up. I could come in, I could put a pool up here. I'll show you that on another building. I could put a tennis court. I can show you that on another building. It's kind of up to you what you want the top of that building to look like. Most buildings are going to have something on top of them, so you have at least one little thing. Just make sure we're leaving room for a tightrope walker. I already know that I want my tightrope walker going from this building to this building over here. So I'm just going to put a T on it, a very light T, so I remember. And I don't draw where I shouldn't. That sounds weird. I'm going to try to get rid of the shadow. Yeah. Alright. So, now for windows for this building. I think I'm going to go with a very traditional, normal style for this. So what you do is you're going to come up. I'm going to look at my ruler, see if I can use that to my advantage. It's about 6 inches. I want my windows to be about 1 inch apart, so I'm going to put a little. I'll put them, like I said, about 1 inch apart. And then I'm going to come in where I put that little mark, line up with the vanishing point, draw all the way down. Come to my next mark, line up with the vanishing point, all the way down. Line up with that vanishing point, all the way down. Vanishing point. Vanishing point. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to come in. I don't want these to be 1 inch apart because it's progressively going to get smaller the further it goes away from you. So that means that if I put this one at roughly 1 inch, then this one is going to be a little less than 1 inch. A little less than that. A little less. Less. I do that as a reference for myself. Then I'm going to come in to where I put those little dots. Line up with the edge of the paper. Draw it. Line up with the edge of the paper. Draw it. Remember something, as it gets further from you, the lines are going to get closer together. So it should look roughly something like that. That's it for that building. I'm going to leave that at that. Then I'm going to come in to my next building. I'm going to do the pool on the top of this building. So just like with everything else, generally you need an access point for that building. So I'm going to come in. I'm going to move this up a little so I can work. This is going to be my access little building, so I need to remember this is like roof access. And I forgot to draw, hold on. Before I do my roof access, I forgot to draw the little lip on the building. come in. And then I think that's a little too much, so I'm going to come in. If you notice, I generally don't erase until after I do my new line. And why that might erase a little bit of my new line, it's so that I know where I originally was, so that I have a reference of what not to do. Okay, now I'm going to come and do my access building. I'm going to line up with the edge of the paper closest to me. Line up with the edge of the paper closest to me. I make this a little shorter than I originally planned. Mostly so I have more room for other things. Once again, lining up with that vanishing point. Line up with the vanishing point. Line up with the vanishing point. Line up with the edge of the paper. Just like everything else, I'm going to put a little door on this since it's a roof access. Line up with the paper, line up with the vanishing point, line up with the vanishing point. So there's my little roof access.